Hey YouTube, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Radiomaster MT12, awesome radio, but quite difficult to program for newbies like me, and four-wheel steering. Front steering, four-wheel steering, rear steering. I found a quite simple way to program this to the radio, but without grab mode. Still waiting for the professionals to show how to add, for example, the grab mode to a button. I guess I watched all videos, but it's quite complicated, and all of those are mostly for drones and planes and with the different radios with the color screen. So I managed to do this a quite simple way. I will show it to you in this video, and I will also show you, if you only want rear steering controlled by one of the two knobs, what's quite easy, how to do this. And therefore I used this AX24 XL micro four-wheel steering truck, but I do not use the electronics of the AX24. I have the 4-in-1, but was not able to bind it to the MT12. The electronics of the AX24, guess it doesn't work, DSM-R, and the ground protocols won't work, only DSM-X and DSM-2. I hope I'm wrong, but didn't find a solution so far. So I use a small ESC with on-off switch, only for testing, and this small AF-HDS2A receiver. Originally I wanted to use the Radiomaster R85C receiver. I have the European ALRS version, but this is not possible. It makes a lot of troubles if you keep the receiver very near to the radio, but very near is even half a meter, so much larger than the area of the camera, but also much larger than the area of my workbench here, and that's quite annoying. You have always kind of cut-offs, and initially I thought maybe battery low, maybe ESC is bad. I changed the ESC. No, but it's not. It's this receiver, and if it's near to the radio, you have cut-offs and connection lost, and then it connects again. You really have to go maybe 1 meter. I know they tell for binding go more than half a meter or 50 centimeters distance, but even then it's quite annoying, and it's really annoying to work with this receiver if you're on the bench and only testing and programming, because who has his model 1 meter away? So as soon as I really move the radio maybe about 1 meter, then it connects again and works flawlessly. And if the receiver is near 50 centimeter or whatever to the radio, it sometimes works, and after some time cut off, lost connection, weird behavior. So this is not nice. Curious if you guys have this problem too, because setting up a truck is quite annoying that way. And I will show you step for step, because I know many people have problems setting up a new model with the MT12. It's completely different to FlySky Noble Spectrum radios or whatever. So I will create a new model and bind the receiver to this new model and show you the steps to get this four-wheel steering, front steer and rear steer, but unfortunately not grab. But anyway, grab mode is not so popular and I never really use it. And I hope that some professionals will be able to give a tutorial how to put or program all four modes with the Radiomaster MT12. I'm quite sure it's possible, but it's that complicated, overwhelming with special functions and flight modes, which are called drive modes here, and global and whatever. I guess I watched every video, but did not succeed. So I'll start with a completely new model here. We are on the main page. Press model, then select an empty model create model, then page, model name. I will give it a 4WS name now, then return, then go down, 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 and activate the internal RF. Here it's off. I go to multi. Okay, then the protocol for this AFHDS2A receiver I showed you already. We need FlySky 2A, PWM iBus, cursor on bind. Now I switch on the receiver in bind mode, press the tiny bind button. You see it's in bind mode now, and press bind. Okay, not bound in those receivers. I press return and now it's bound. Let's start from the first page again. Now it works. Switch it off, switch it on, and we see steering is in wrong direction and throttle is also in wrong direction. So we have to change this. Therefore, reverse, go to model, again page, up to outputs, page 6, channel 1 is steering. Now it's wrong, press channel 1, edit, and you can give it a name if you want, but direction is the important thing. Press, and now it's inverted. Now front steering is okay. Return, return to outputs, channel 2, same thing for throttle, edit, go down to direction and invert, and now it's, this is a bad tiny ESC, but now this is correct. Return, 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 and now we have only front steering and no rear steering. The servo is of course connected to channel 3, the rear axle servo. You can connect it of course to any channel you want. And now I'll show you how to use those knobs. Some people like this for four-wheel steering, having control rear steer by one of those knobs. There again, go to model, then page to mixes, page 5 of 11, and channel 3. And then mix name, you can give it a name, but I do not really want to do this because I will delete it anyway. Okay, return. But the important thing is source, and you have to activate this. And now I move this knob, and you see I can control the rear servo by this knob. It's still blinking. If that's S1 now, and you see now it changed to S2 to this knob, and I can control it with this knob or that knob. And then if it's okay, return, 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 long return, front page. So now I can control the front servo and the rear servo by this knob, but I don't really like it. I will show you now how to do it. The 3 modes, front, 4-wheel and rear steer, and to change those by this 3-position switch. Unfortunately, there's no 4-position switch. Therefore, again, go to press model, go to page mixes, and that's page 5. And I want to copy simply the front now. We have still the rear here, but I will overwrite it. And I go to copy channel 1. And I go to down to channel 3. Press And now we have this rear, and I delete it. So if you didn't assign a knob before to the rear steering, you don't have to do this. So I have channel 3 now, and that's the same copy of channel 1. And you see we have perfect 4-wheel steering now. Of course, that's not what we want. We want 3 different modes, and therefore I found a way to do this again. From the start side, go to Special Functions, page 9 of 10. And because this mode is also the mode of front and rear steering, only with one servo, front or rear blocked, it's easy to do it that way. So I do a special function 1 now, and what's important now, the center position of this should be 4-wheel steering of this 3-position switch. I want it that way. I want here front steering, 4-wheel steering, rear steering. So I put this 3-position switch to the first position. You can see it here. Now it's in the position I want it. Now it's in center position, what I want, 4-wheel steering. And now it's in SA up, what I want, rearing wheel steering. I do it in front again, and then we have override channel 1, and that's what we want, and 0. Still not working, because here's, you have to click this, you have to activate it. So I activate it now, and now check this out. This was of course completely wrong, because I have now rear wheel steering. I want to override channel 3, of course, not channel 1, my bad. But now you see we have front steering, no rear steer, and as soon, go to return, as soon as I move the 3-position switch to the center position, I have again 4-wheel steering, and here I have only front steering. And we want to do the same thing for a knob, for this 3-position switch for rear wheel steering. Therefore I put the switch now to the innermost position, that's SA up, and now we need override channel 1, 0. I'm now in the inner position, still no effect, because I have to activate it. Okay, and now I have rear wheel steering on this position, in the center position 4-wheel steering, and in the front position front steering. So that's it. But if we go to the main page, you see there the modes are not written here, and I found a nice way to show those modes, because the drive modes or flight modes originally are shown here, and therefore I go again model and then go to drive modes, and that's the drive mode 0, that's drive mode 1, and that's drive mode 2. And we, or I, can rename this, and then this will be shown in on the main screen. I have the position now for front steering. I go to drive mode 0 and give it a model name, or mode name, not model name, and I will call this, because you can't do a lot of lettering here, front. What you want, I call it front STR, or only ST, front S T, stay, okay. And back. And you see, now we have front steering. We gave this mode a name. As soon as I move this to rear or four-wheel steering, this still name is front steering. So now I move this knob to the, or this knob, this switch to the center position, what I will name four-wheel steering. So again, same thing, drive modes, drive mode 1, that's now on this knob, and switch is this one. You can see it here, I didn't show it to you. SA, center, and I give it the name 4WS now, and this should now work. I don't know if I will go back to the 0. 0 seems not to have a, you can't, seems it misses this point where you can assign the knob. And now I go to drive mode 2, press it again, and switch, press, blinking, and put the switch to the inner position where I want rear steer. Okay, and I give it a name. Okay, and now this long press, main page. You see I have now rear steer. If I move it to the center position, it goes to 4WS, front steer. I have front steer here, four-wheel steering, and rear steer. And that's my way I found how to do and to program four-wheel steering to the Radiomaster MT12. I know that's probably not the correct and perfect way to do it, and I still hope that some of the professionals like RC Reviews, Bardwell or whatever will show us how to do this with this radio and how to program this. And I'm quite sure there will be a way to assign grab what is missing here to a knob, for example this knob, and then we have all 4 modes. That's what I tried to do for quite a bit of time, but after watching hours of videos, reading, I failed. And I know that many people new to HTX have a lot of problems programming this radio. A problem is also that this is with a simple monochrome small screen, and many tutorial videos use the touch screen with the color screen of the larger radio models, and it's really not easy. And I'm waiting for good tutorial videos with the Radiomaster MT12. However, this works really nice, I think. Four-wheel steering, rear steer, front steer, and no grab, but we will live without grab. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll be back.